Today, as I told you, I'm gonna prepare the exercise of the structural submission that we have. I'm gonna begin from scratch and I'm gonna do a brief of everything. So the first thing that we have to do is open a new file. We can do it from a structure or architecture as we wish. Both it helps. If we do it from architectural, we have to open the structural views. Okay, we'll begin from the structural template. Make sure that you are in the metric. Okay, structural analysis, default US Canada. It's the one that we are going to use. Okay, we open the template. For those who don't use the structural template, you will go to view plans, structural plans, and you will open here the structural plans. Okay, so you will be able to see the structural plans. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do is create our levels. Okay, we will begin for our top of the footing level, minus 200. And minus 2000. So we continue doing the levels. Next level, external ground level. Okay, it's gonna be 0. And now we will continue doing levels. So we'll begin with one of ground floor. Yep. Here we can. You have to make sure that you can read everything, okay? So 450, that is 3 steps of 15. Next level, we'll go, for example, to 4 meters. Sorry? Top of the footing and is minus 2 meters. Okay. 4 meters. Create another one. Roof level. And the last one, the parapet. You have all these levels. Top of the footing, minus 2 meters. External ground level, 0. Ground floor, 45 centi. First floor, 4 meters. Roof level, 7.5. Parapet, 9 meters. This is our levels. Okay. From here, we are gonna begin working. If you are in the construction or the architecture template, now you will have to go to view, a structural plan, and select it. As I already got them here, it didn't appear, okay? Because I have this that is not to duplicate, but it will appear to you like this if you are in an architectural template. So you will select all of them and say okay, or only the ones that you need. Maybe you don't need the parapet. So I can use only the top of the footing, the roof level, the ground floor, and the first floor. And the other ones, I don't need them now as a plan because I'm not gonna use it as a plan. So I can have only the ones that I'm gonna use. Okay? No need to got it visible on my project viewer. Okay, first element that we are going to create our grid for the structure. So we are going to go for the ground floor, okay? And we are going to create the grid for the structure. So we will go architecture here in the atom, grid, or we can write GR as we can see there. We began 1. We have done one grid, 8 meters, another one, another 8 meters, another 8 meters. Yeah, when we are working on the structure, the first element that we draw is the grid, if we know it. If we don't know it, we'll create our structure and then the grid. But if you have a defined grid where all your elements are gonna be, the first thing that you have to create is the grid. It's the easiest and the best way. Okay, now we create the grid in the other direction. We change from number to letters, okay? And again, we continue. Another 8 meters. 1, then 5, and then 3. All of them 8, but these 2, we have 1 in the middle, that is 5 and 3, because we have the stair here, okay? You've got it here also. The first thing that we are gonna do, we are gonna duplicate this axis because we have another column. Usually I calculate it, but I will tell you today we are in a rush. So we have half of this column, that is 20, so it's 10 centi. The joint, that is 5 centi, and half of the column that is in the other direction. That is 40 is the column, 20. So 10 plus 5 plus 20, 35 centi. So we are gonna create another grid, okay? Copy, and we are gonna point 350 millimeters. Sorry? What happened? Wait a second. Okay, once we have the grid, we are gonna go for the columns, okay? So we go structure, column. I already got loaded the concrete ones, but for those who don't, we go to load family, structural columns, concrete, and we will load the rectangular family. Okay, open. For me, it says that I already got it, so I'm gonna cancel, and it will appear here, these columns. Okay, so I'm gonna create the columns that I'm gonna use. This is not the dimensions that I'm gonna use. Here in the Emirates, the usual thing is 200 because the walls are 200. So 90% of the housing is 200. So we are gonna duplicate, edit type, duplicate. So 200 by 450. Okay. So I'm gonna do 200 by 450. I modify the name, duplicate, I place my name, and I change the dimensions. Say OK. Next step, to place the columns. We have several things. If they are vertical or slanted, so you can do a slope columns if you wish. But as we are going to do it normal, you have multiple and add columns. With add columns is I made first the design in architecture and I place architectural columns. So now I will choose add columns, select my whole building. It will highlight the columns that I already drawn, and they will place structural columns there. As I didn't do it, that I'm beginning from the structure, I'm gonna use add grid. So I will select add grid, select my grid, and come and say finish in the tag, and all the columns will appear. I'm gonna escape twice and delete the columns that are outside my building. Okay, my building is this U shape, so these columns are outside. I will delete them. Select them from left to right and then delete. If I do it from right to left, I will select everything attached. So I will delete. Yeah, the same as AutoCAD. So I have a problem here. As you can see, these columns are vertical and we want it in the other direction. So we are gonna solve it. But first of all, I'm gonna copy these two on the upper grid, because these ones, they will go like this in the upper grid. Okay. And I'm gonna delete all these columns because I want them rotated 90 degrees, not like this. So I'm gonna do it on the other direction. Instead of like this, I'm gonna rotate. I can do it manually, or I can do it here in angle, 90 degrees. Okay? And I'm gonna copy them now. I can do it by copy, or I can do it by array. You've got the order array explained in the videos that I have in YouTube. As today we have to finish the whole project, so I'm going to explain only copy. If you wish, in the next class I will explain the order array. Okay, so now with copy we select multiple, and I'm gonna copy my column, okay, at all the places in all the intersections of my grid. I can also see that this is depending on how you want the building, but if we want the building to be straight, this column should be moved, okay, to be aligned. If we want to have, for example, the curtain wall here, and this have to be something that is a bit different, I can keep it like this. It's depending on my project. I'm gonna keep this one outside, and I'm gonna change this one only. For now, we will make this one inside. So we will go for the order align. We will select the column, align this order, AL. Select first the position we want and then the element. Okay, so I will do it again. The position I want and the other column. So I'm moving the columns to the position I want. If I want to be related both positions, both elements, I can block them. So if I move one column, the other column will move also. Okay, so basically I'm doing my columns. Understood until here? I'm gonna go for view, 3D, check my columns, they are too small. Okay, so I'm gonna go on top, select all these columns, and go for filter. Every time I select more than one type of element, it will appear the filter, and I can select only the ones I want. So I can do whatever I want, okay, with them. So I will say apply, okay. And now I'm gonna say the base level is the top of the footing, and the top level is gonna be the roof for these columns. Okay, now I select only the other columns from the other side of the building. I do the same, filter, select only the columns, base level, top of the footing again, top level, first floor. I'm gonna do one side of the building that is bigger than the other one. Okay, so now I go for my 3D. Oh, I was already in the 3D, and I can see how my columns are different height for the two different parts of my building. Okay,